Season 2 is here and begins in Atlanta, where Season 1 died as the Falcons begin preseason by hosting the Texans as they look to return to the postseason and improve upon last year's divisional round exit. First quarter, Matt Ryan throwing and has his favorite target in 2019 league leader in receiving yards, Julio Jones, for a first down near midfield. 4 plays later, it's Devontae Freeman picking up 5 yards on 4th and 1 to keep the drive alive. Then 2 plays later, it's his backup Ito Smith moving the chains again as he takes it right up the middle for 12 more. 2 plays later again, Ryan with the deep drop, looking to throw, moves to his left and fires towards the end zone where he finds free agent signing Austin Traylor for the 18-yard score, and the Falcons 2020 preseason starts with a 7-0 lead. Texans driving, and the new and improved Falcon defense looks a lot like the old and busted Falcons defense as Duke Johnson skies up for the 17-yard catch down inside the 30. Then 3 plays later, Deshaun Watson gives the Falcon defense an enema as he fires a rocket into Jake Butt for 14 yards on 3rd and 6 to give Houston 1st and goal. And 3 plays later, again, that enema has cleansed Deuce Douglas of his doo-doo user defense as he makes the user pick in the end zone with Foyesade Oluokun, who decides to bring it out. He's tackled inside the 10, but the turnover keeps the Texans off the board, and the score remains 7-0. Second quarter now, Falcons lead 10-0, and it's rookie second-rounder Ray Gilbert completing his first professional pass for 5 yards to Austin Traylor. But 2 plays later, and facing 3rd and 7, Gilbert stands in but can't handle the pressure and fires off the mark incomplete to force an Atlanta punt. Just before half now, Texans still looking to get on the board, and Brock Osweiler finds Chad Hansen for 12 yards on a first down to start the drive. Texans rush to the line. Osweiler again looking to throw and has all day behind great protection before Falcons first-rounder Lorenzo McManus hits him. Ball comes out. Kendall Sheffield comes in to scoop it up and brings it back 15 yards for the score, and the Falcons head into the break with a 17-0 halftime lead. Late third quarter, Texans across midfield and moving the chains as Osweiler hits Angel Lucas for a tough 15-yard catch. 3 plays later, 3rd and 9, and Osweiler behind good protection fires one into Chad Hansen for 18 more and another Houston first down. And that leads to the very next play where Osweiler is throwing again, moves to his right and fits his pass into Duke Johnson for the 13-yard score, and that makes it 17-10 as the Texans are able to find the end zone for the first time tonight. Score is now 20-10 in the fourth quarter. Danny Etling in at quarterback, and his pass is way too far inside and picked off by Lonnie Johnson, setting Houston up at the Atlanta 35. And Houston, facing a 3rd and 10, is able to convert as Osweiler throws a terrible pass that Maurice Ramsey deflects right back into the hands of Angel Lucas for a 16-yard gain. Then on the following play, it's 1st and 10 to 1st and goal as Kamari McCall picks up 11 down to the Atlanta 8. And that leads to Osweiler throwing on 3rd and goal, moving to his left and finding Chad Hansen for the 3-yard score. And with 7:24 to go, the Texans now trail by 3. Falcons driving but facing 3rd and 17 where Danny Etling stands in and delivers a strike to Devin Gray for 19 yards down inside the 15 to take it to the 2-minute warning. And that leads to 3 plays later. Etling throwing again, fires for Jeremy Novak. Ball is knocked out, and Zach Cunningham snatches it out of the sky for an interception. And with 1:49 to go, the Texans down 3 take over inside their own 5. But less than a minute later, Deuce Douglas puts a seal on this one as Chris Cooper is there to pick off Osweiler, and the Falcons start year 2 in the 2020 season by hanging on to a 2017 preseason victory. In week 2, the Falcons hit the road to face the AFC's top seed in 2019, going up against John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, and the Baltimore Ravens. Late first quarter, 3-0 Falcons. Ryan with the play fake, and we're going to start this game with a preseason edition of You Got Mossed. Julio Jones with the 29-yard catch down to the Ravens 16. Then facing 3rd and 10, Ryan stands in and is able to find Calvin Ridley for 13 more yards to make it 1st and goal. And on the very next play, it's Devontae Freeman powering his way into the end zone from 3 yards out. And once again, the Falcons are out early with a 10-0 first quarter lead. Ensuing drive, Ravens facing 3rd and 5 where Lamar Jackson drops a dime to Miles Boykin for 30 yards down the seam and into Atlanta territory. Next play, and Jackson looks to throw momentarily before deciding to take off, and he's got 21 more yards on the ground as he slides down just inside the 20 for another Ravens first down. Then on 3rd and 6, Jackson looking to throw again, but once again decides to take off and use his legs as he walks into the end zone for the 15-yard score, and former Falcon Alex Mack gets in on the celebration as Baltimore makes it 10-7. Ravens driving again and crossing midfield as Lamar Jackson fires high for Josh Doxson, who comes down with the 20 21-yard catch over Keanu Neal. And on the following play, it's Jackson keeping the read option, moving the chains and picking up 16 more down to the Falcons 21. And that leads to 4 plays later, 2nd and goal. Jackson throwing, but for the second time takes off, avoiding Deion Jones and walking in from 6 yards out for 6 points and a 14-10 Ravens lead. Second half now, same score. Falcons inside their own 1, and Ray Gilbert once again showing some accuracy issues as he's well off the mark for tight end Alex Gray. Then next play, Gilbert throwing again, and once again is going to miss Alex Gray by several yards, forcing a Falcons punt. And immediately following the punt, it's Ryan Tannehill throwing, moving to his right and finding a wide open Jaleel Scott, who picks up a block and has 34 yards down inside the 10 to make it 1st and goal. And for the 3rd time of the night, it's a Ravens quarterback finding the end zone, as this time Tannehill keeps it on the read option and scores from 8 yards out, giving the Ravens a 21-10 third quarter lead. Falcons looking to answer back as Ray Gilbert finally starts to find a rhythm, starting with a Devin Gray 7-yard completion on 3rd and 6. 3 plays later, and the Falcons cross midfield as Gilbert finds Russell Gage Jr. over the middle for 14 more and another Atlanta 1st down. Then after a sack makes it 2nd and 16, Gilbert and the Falcons get 14 of it back as he dumps to Brian Hill, who jukes inside and goes out of bounds just shy of the marker. And after picking up the 1st down, it's Gilbert again throwing, this time to Marcus Green for 18 yards down inside the 1 to make it 1st and goal. Where 2 plays later, it's Quadri Allison off the left side and untouched into the end zone for the 1-yard score that cuts the Ravens lead to 21-17. 4th quarter now, Ravens lead by 7. Ray Gilbert with the play fake and wants Devin Gray deep downfield, but his pass is well underthrown, and Anthony Averett skies up to pick it off. And that would later lead to Justice Hill taking the give and having a red carpet to the end zone from 12 yards out to put the Ravens up by 14 with a 31-17 lead. But one mistake would turn into a disastrous 4th quarter for rookie Ray Gilbert, as on 4th and 4, he's intercepted by Ahmad Charles, who's going to bring this one all the way back for a 74-yard pick 6. And then on Gilbert's very next pass, it's double the failure and double the pain, as this time it's Deshaun Elliott with the interception, and he too is going to bring this one back 26 yards for another pick 6. And in a matter of seconds, the Ravens lead goes from 14 to 28. But we will end these highlights on a high note as Gilbert drove the Falcons back down the field and threw his first professional touchdown pass to undrafted free agent James Parker. But the touchdown means nothing, and the Falcons easily fall in this one by a score of 45-24. So from the AFC's top seed to the AFC's number 2 seed last season, we head back to Atlanta for the regular season dry run against the Kansas City Chiefs. Opening drive in Atlanta's first play is Matt Ryan throwing quick to Mohamed Sanu for a 12-yard gain and 1st down to start the drive. Next play, and this time it's Ryan to Calvin Ridley on the RPO as Atlanta crosses midfield with another 1st down and 15-yard gain. Then on the next play, it's Julio Jones' turn as he catches the crosser and picks up 11 more to move the chains again and make it 4 plays, 4 1st downs, as Devontae Freeman has a huge hole and the sticks are once again moving with the 11-yard carry. And on the very next play, Matt Ryan throwing and is going to thread the needle to Julio Jones, who rolls his way into the end zone for a 27-yard touchdown, and the Falcon offense with a perfect opening drive to take an early 7-0 lead. First play of the 2nd quarter, Falcons lead 10-3 and are across midfield where Ryan play fakes and fires to Julio Jones, who jukes inside one defender and has 25 yards down inside the 15. Then facing 4th and 1 inside the 5, it's who else but the exterminator Jordan Buggs, who picks up 3 in the 1st down. And that sets up Ito Smith, who 2 plays later weaves through traffic and into the end zone from 1 yard out as the Falcons take a 14-point lead at 17-3. Second half score now 17-9, where it becomes the Ito Smith show, as on the first play of the Falcons drive, he picks up 11 and a 1st down. 2 plays later, 2nd and 1, and Smith moves the chains again, taking the toss for another 9 yards into Kansas City territory. And it's the same story 2 plays later, as on 2nd and 1, Smith again moves the chains with another 9-yard carry inside the Chiefs 30. 2nd and 10 this time, and instead of doing it on the ground, this time it's Ito Smith down the seam for a 21-yard catch to set up 1st and goal. And that leads to Matt Ryan firing quick over the middle to Austin Hooper for his 2nd touchdown pass of the game, as the 6-yard score puts the Falcons up 24-9. 4th quarter now, same score, and Chiefs rookie Derek Glass has all day to throw against the Falcons' 3-man rush. Glass finally decides to throw, and it's right to Jordan Miller for the easy interception, and the Falcons already up 15 take over in Chiefs territory. Falcons punt it right back, pitting the Chiefs inside the the 5 where Glass throws, and again it's right to Jordan Miller for the easiest pick 6 you'll ever see, and the 5-yard touchdown return makes it 31-9 Falcons. Atlanta's offense across midfield where Ray Gilbert fires for Devin Gray, but it's Mark Fields with the diving interception as the Falcons rookie quarterback continues to prove that he still has a lot of room to grow. But less than a minute later, the fourth quarter interception barrage continues as Derek Glass throws another terrible pass right to Kendall Sheffield. He's going to bring this one all the way back for another pick 6 and put a seal on the Falcons' 38-9 victory. And that brings us to the fourth and final meaningless game as we head to the Music City with a boatload of backups to face the Tennessee Titans. Ray Gilbert gets the start, and on 2nd and 24 uses his legs to buy time and fire to Devin Gray for a 13-yard one-handed catch. That makes it 3rd and 11 where it's Gilbert to a different Gray, this time the tight end Alex Gray for 19 yards and a first down near midfield. 2 plays later and Gilbert continues to be sharp, finding Russell Gage Jr. over the middle for 10 more yards and another first down. Then facing 3rd and 5, it's rookie to rookie as Gilbert threads the needle to Devontae Barclay for 21 yards to set up 1st and goal, which then leads to, from 6 yards out, running back Marcus Green breaking a tackle and getting spun into the end zone for an opening drive touchdown to give the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Ensuing drive, and the Falcons lead would last all of 1 play as Dion Lewis takes the give, throws Jordan Miller to the ground, and is off to the races for a 75-yard score. And after an 11-play drive for the Falcons, it's 1 play, 75 yards for the Titans to tie things up at 7. Later in the first, Falcons lead 10-7, and on Dion Lewis's next carry, he breaks a tackle and nearly takes it to the house again. Jordan Miller tracks him down, but not before a 48-yard gain. Then facing 3rd and 14, Falcons rush 3, which always results in all day to throw, and Marcus Mariota finds Adam Humphries for a 23-yard catch to make it 1st and goal. And on the next play, the Falcons go from bringing 3 to bringing 7, which leaves Delaney Walker wide open in the end zone for an 8-yard score, and the Titans starters take a 14-10 lead over the Falcons backups. 17-13 now, Danny Etling in at quarterback, and he finds Devontae Barclay over the middle for a 17-yard catch near midfield. 5 plays later, 3rd and 11, Etling throwing again and floats one up for James Parker, who comes down with a 17-yard grab. Next play, Etling again looking to throw and fires down the seam to Jeremy Novak, who runs into a wall at the goal line and somehow doesn't score, but it sets up 1st and goal at the 1 where it's a fake to Jordan Buggs and a toss to James Parker, who walks into the end zone, and the Falcons take back the lead as they go up 20-17. Second half, same score, and Titans rookie Peyton McMahon fires to a wide open Jeremy McNichols, who picks up 26 yards well into Atlanta territory. Next play, McMahon throwing again, and he's got another open receiver as he hits Anthony Ratliff Williams for 24 more to make it 1st and goal, where on the very next play, it's Jeremy McNichols running through a tackle and into the end zone for a 1-yard score to put the Titans back out in front with a 24-20 lead. Then in the 4th quarter, McMahon drops the throw and fires to Ratliff Williams. Deuce Douglas whiffs the hit stick, misses the tackle, and it's a 63-yard touchdown. Titans add another and win 38-23, but who cares, because it's the preseason and these games don't mean a goddamn thing. All right, guys, so we wrap up the preseason at 2-2, which I believe is the same record that I had last preseason, but I'll say what I always say following the preseason, which is that I take it all with a grain of salt. Whether I win or I lose or I get destroyed or I destroy the CPU, the games play a lot differently than normal games just because of how I play and how I sub players in versus how the CPU does, and it's just never really a good indicator of how the season might go, in my opinion. But with the preseason being over, it obviously came time to cut down our roster to 53 players and a 10-man practice squad. And starting at quarterback, it's obviously going to be Matt Ryan starting, and he's dropped down to an 85 overall, but is also raised up to a superstar X Factor. However, that superstar X Factor is not active because of his overall not being high enough. Backing him up is one of our 3 focus players and 2nd-round rookie quarterback Ray Gilbert, and we'll be looking to build him up over the course of the season. His hidden dev snap count is only at 123 after preseason, so So barring an injury to Matt Ryan, it's not likely that his dev trait will be unlocked this year. Moving to our backfield, it starts with Devontae Freeman, who will be the starter, with Ito Smith also getting carries mixed in as well. At fullback, it's the rookie and the exterminator Jordan Buggs. Then backing up at running back will be Brian Hill, who we saw bump up to star dev last season. And then Marcus Green, who was on our practice squad all of last year, beats out Quadri Ollison and takes his spot and will also be the primary return man. At wide receiver, Julio Jones drops to a 97 overall and is still far and away the number one target. Calvin Ridley is an 80 overall and will start opposite him on the outside. Mohamed Sanu is down to a 79 but is still a very reliable receiver. Then behind them, it's Devin Gray and rookie Devontae Barclay, who makes the roster due to a season-ending injury to Russell Gage Jr. Next up is our tight ends, where Austin Hooper is up to an 87 overall, coming off a 1,000-yard season where he led the league in receptions. Free agent signing Austin Traylor will be the number 2 tight end, and undrafted rookie Jeremy Novak beats out Alex Gray for the 3rd tight end spot. Up front and starting with the tackles, it's the same trio as last season, with Jake Matthews starting at left tackle and Caleb McGarry starting at right tackle with his 69 overall. Backing both of them up as the swing tackle once again will be Ty Sambrailo. Moving inside, Chris Lindstrom will start at right guard, has star dev, and is up to a 75 overall after starting last season as a 70. Starting at left guard will be Jamon Brown, who never looked back after taking that role from James Carpenter last season, and Carpenter will once again serve as his backup. Free agent Ryan Khalil starts at center while Chandler Miller will back him up. Shifting to the defensive side, we start with the defensive ends, where Tack McKinley leads a fairly underwhelming group with his 80 overall. Adrian Claiborne is all the way down to a 73 and will back up McKinley while also possibly being used as a rush tackle in passing situations. And then starting at left end will be rookie Lorenzo McManus, with John Kaminsky and fellow rookie Charles Piercy serving as backups. On the inside, Grady Jarrett remains a force at an 88 overall and will have Deidrin Sennett next to him in base personnel, while Justin Zimmer, who spent all of last season on the practice squad, will be the backup. Behind them at outside linebacker, Foyesade Oluokun leads a very unimpressive group with a 73 overall and will be the 2nd linebacker in passing situations. Duke Riley will start at left outside linebacker and is also in a contract year. Rookie Maurice Ramsey will start at right outside linebacker but will likely only be seen in base personnel. And then free agent signings Elijah Lee and Stephon Anthony will be the backups. Moving inside at linebacker, it's Deion Jones leading the way as he now has superstar dev and is a 92 overall with the unfakeable and man-up abilities. Backing him up will be Jermaine Grace and everybody's favorite broke undrafted rookie free agent backup in Cam Terry. In the secondary and starting with the corners, Desmond Trufant continues to lead a very young cornerback group. Opposite him will be Isaiah Oliver, with Kendall Sheffield coming in as the nickelback. Jordan Miller led the league in interceptions last season and will continue to see snaps in dime and quarter formations. Backing them all up will be Ryan Neal, who spent last year on our practice squad, as well as undrafted rookie free agent Jeffrey Lowry. Further back at safety will be Keanu Neal, who also saw an offseason dev upgrade as he now has the reinforcement X-Factor zone ability. Ricardo Allen continues to be the free safety at an 81 overall, with 79 overall DeMonte Casey backing him up. Rookie Donovan Culver will see significant snaps in the big nickel formation and will back up Keanu Neal along with free agent signing Zedric Woods. And then wrapping up our 53-man roster is the specialist, starting with punter Connor Blumberg, who is already polishing his Pro Bowl plaque. At kicker will be Roland Ford, who couldn't kick a ball into water from a boat but will likely be 40 for 40 on the year. And then lastly is Josh Harris, who will be the long snapper, which I choose to keep on the roster just to make roster building and management a slight bit tougher. As mentioned earlier, Russell Gage Jr. suffered a season-ending injury during preseason in the form of a torn pectoral and is out 33 weeks, meaning he will miss the entire season and is currently our only player on injured reserve. And then wrapping up with our 10-man practice squad, I decided to bring back Keon Crossan, who we had at the end of last season, and also because we can't have enough players with 69 overalls. Johnny Dixon was another post-preseason addition to the practice squad that we didn't have on our team already. Quadri Ollison was beat out by Marcus Green but could be promoted with injuries at running back. Derek Emanuel is an undrafted rookie free agent and 63 overall defensive end. Brian McCullers was also an undrafted rookie free agent and doesn't make the roster but does remain with the team. Free safety Chris Cooper was on our practice squad all of last season and appears to be headed for a similar outcome this year. As mentioned earlier, Alex Gray was beat out by Jeremy Novak for the 3rd tight end spot but does remain with the team. James Parker joins Quadri Allison as another running back on the practice squad, and then Jacob Tuioti Mariner and Danny Etling both spent the entire last season on the practice squad, and like Chris Cooper, appear to be headed for a similar fate this year. And then looking at our schedule for season 2, we start at home against Case Keenum and the Chargers. Week 2 sends us to Tampa Bay before coming back home to play the Raiders. Then it's on the road for 3 straight weeks as we head to Denver, Green Bay, and a Monday night game in New Orleans. It's another primetime game the next week as we host Dallas on Sunday night before we wrap up the first half of the season with a road game against the Lions. Again this year, we have a week 9 bye week, and the second half of the season starts with 3 home games against the Saints, Vikings, and Bears. Week 13 and 14 sees us heading to Arizona and Carolina as we face the Panthers for the first time on a Monday night. In week 15, it's the Buccaneers at home before we head on the road to Arrowhead Stadium for our final road game on a Sunday night. Then wrapping up the season will be our home finale as we host the Carolina Panthers. But that's going to do it, guys. Preseason is in the books. Regular season is on the way, but again, I'm not really sure when. Most likely next week, but this franchise server stuff is really frustrating, and I don't want to risk playing a game, having it not count, or getting kicked in the middle of it, because those are both total vibe killers. But once everything is in the clear, things should be back to a pretty regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Hope you guys enjoy.